bring to us your poetry from inspiration sought. Come, join us with your images, your verses, words and thought. From here, we'll share your balladry with those who do not know it. This platform's here for you to show the world that you're the poet.
Welcome to episode 79 of You're the Poet, the poetry podcast featuring you. I'm host Matt Burgio, and I'm here with co-host Phil Burgio. Phil, welcome.
Happy to be here.
Here at You're the Poet, our purpose is to share our love of poetry with the world and invite you to do the same. We want to start by saying thank you to all of our listeners who have made You're the Poet possible. We hope you enjoy the podcast and the poetry that is shared. If you've written any poetry and you want to share it here, whether you just have an interest in poetry, consider yourself an amateur poet, or are a professional poet with published works, contact us to be a guest on a future episode. Our featured guest for this episode of You're the Poet is returning guest Amos Mkubwa, who is joining us from Kenya with his alpha generation of student poets. Amos, welcome back to You're the Poet.
Hello. Thank you very much, Phil and Matt. Hello, everyone. Hello, You Are the Poet community. My name is Amos Mkubwa. I come from Kenya. And with me here, I'm joined with my fellow students who are poets. These students are the ones I'm coaching. I'm mentoring them. Today, we're happy to join You Are the Poet family so that we can have a very great session. Thank you and have a good time.
Yeah, we're looking forward to having your poet students on and hearing their work. To start things off, I'm going to turn it over to Phil to share a classic poem for the episode.
This poem is by Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman is an American poet, essayist, journalist. He was born May 31st, 1819 in West Hills, New York, and he passed away on March 26, 1892. He's best known for his collection of poetry called Leaves of Grass, and one of my favorite poems of his is "Oh Captain, My Captain." This is kind of featured in the Robin Williams movie Dead Poets Society. If you haven't seen it and you're a poet, I highly recommend it. This poem is called "I Hear America Singing," kind of appropriate because the United States is going to celebrate 250 years. I hear America singing. I hear America singing the various carols I hear, those of mechanics, each one singing his, and it should be blithe and strong. The carpenter singing his as he measures his plank or beam. The mason singing his as he makes ready for work or leaves off work. The boatman singing what belongs to him in his boat. The deckhand singing on the steamboat deck. The shoemaker singing as he sits at his bench. The hatter singing as he stands. The woodcutter's song, the plowboy on his way to the morning, or at noon intermission or at sundown. The delicious singing of the mother, or of the young wife at work, or of the girl sewing or washing. Each singing what belongs to him or her, and to none else. The day what belongs to the day, at night the party of young fellows robust and friendly, singing with open mouths their strong melodious songs. Walt Whitman.
All right, thank you. Definitely a special time here in the United States next week where we're celebrating our 250th anniversary as a country, so that should be exciting. I know there's a lot of celebrations and stuff going on here, and of course Walt Whitman, one of the great American poets.
I think actually it's great. So I think actually it reflects on maybe women's at the United States. So nowadays maybe like the ones that maybe got here at the States. So I think it's a good one.
From the poem itself and from the title, America is Crying. So this poem is giving us some kind of emotional feedback. And the tone itself, even when Phil was reading it, it was flowing, and I had some rhyming words in between the verses.
Yeah, Phil?
I talked about the movie Dead Poets Society. If you haven't seen it and you're young poets, I would recommend it. Robin Williams does a great job in it.
Sure.
All right, well, from here, I'm going to share a poem for the episode. This is a poem I wrote a while back, and it's in what they call the Terzarima form, which is basically, in this case, the Terzarima sonnet, which is a 14-line poem. It's made up of 4 tercets, like 3-line stanzas, and then it ends with a couplet, like a rhyming couplet. And the rhyme scheme goes like A, B, A, and then B, C, B, where the second stanza, the rhyme scheme is the middle word from the previous stanza. This is a poem I wrote called "I Hear Her Breath as One Might Hear a Song." I hear her breath as one might hear a song, aloft with melody that stirs the air. Her peaceful rest assures that nothing's wrong. The angel gently sighs her breath with care, a care that knows no worries in its sleep, with comfort brought by knowing that I'm there. I lie awake accompanied by sheep who flow in countless numbers through my mind. But slowly dreams begin to drift and creep, and bring anew these images I find, images of her breath whose sound I long, a comfort wrapped in love by two to bind. And next to me, our love secured and strong, I hear her breath as one might hear a song. Matthew Burgio.
I like that. That was nice, Matt.
Thank you. All right, from here, I'm going to turn it back over to Phil to share his poem for the episode.
Okay, this poem is kind of deep for me. It's called Lonely Heart. I love my family and they love me, but my heart is lonely. Surrounded by friends, we laugh and jest, but my heart is lonely. I enjoy my life and all I have achieved, but my heart is lonely. I know not why, but then I do. My heart is lonely. I feel it when I awake, that brief moment of joy, but my heart is lonely. Her presence is felt, but it fades too soon, but my heart is lonely. Memories make me happy of our life and times, but my heart is still lonely. Philip Burgio.
All right, thank you for sharing.
I had to pause a bit there. I was getting a bit emotional.
Wow, wow, wow. It's a very nice poem about my heart because the heart is everything and everybody needs to take it as a treasure. Your heart is very important and it's a nice poem.
I like that. Heart is a treasure. Good line, Amos.
So, from my point of view, I think, and on my part, so I think the poem is actually emotional. How feels that is slow, I think, as you have seen. So, I think it's good. So, it shows a lot of emotions, and I can see there is a sentence where there, which repeats after every sentence. So, my heart is slow that.
Thank you. All right, and from here, we're going to turn to our guest portion of the episode. Amos and Alpha Generation, you're the poets. Show us what you've got.
Thank you very much, Matt and Phil. This is Amos Mkubwa. I'm glad to be back to this session. I first appeared in this session as guest 21, so I'm very happy that we are moving on well and the community is growing up. We're introducing other young people in. So I think this community is going to be the most fearless community of poetry I've ever had. Together with me is our students. These are students whom I'm doing mentorship with. They have various talents, but today I came with only poets. So I have around 50 students under my mentorship.
Nice.
But today I decided to come with the first batch of students who are poets. So they will share their poems here. What I will do is maybe I'll start with the first person. He will introduce himself and maybe share one poem and maybe share some thoughts about poetry. Let me begin with Alfred. Let Alfred come and introduce himself.
So, once again, I want to thank you, Matt and Phil, for giving us this opportunity to appear at your the poet group. I've been doing this poetry game for years, and I want to tell you that you are one of the people who have identified us from Kenya. I want to thank you that the work that you are doing proves not that a lot of people will see our being serious with poetry, maybe young talents like us. Some of us try our best to exploit what we are doing, but support is what mostly we lack.
Indeed.
Oh, and a point of reminder is that I am the group leader of this group. I help Mr. Amos here with quite a lot of stuff. So, and I'm going to have a familiar, it's a concerns politics, and I might sound a bit like a critic, but maybe you'll forgive me. So, my poem is entitled The Massacre. So, it's just like this: bombing, not a solution. Killing the innocents, not right at all. Night and day, shooting rockets, mobilizing soldiers to shed blood, not right at all. Think of it, think of desperate people, afraid of the ballistics, dropping day and night, aiming their roofs, not right at all. Negotiations, maybe the trick, not bloodshed. And that's my point.
Thank you for sharing.
Welcome. So, and I'll ask, like, what do you see in my poem maybe? What what emotion do you get from it?
Sounds like one of I don't know how to describe. Like I mean, like it's someone who doesn't like warfare. That it's that you're seeing what's going on, if that's in your country or in the world.
Mhm.
It's like sort of this oppression going on.
What I can comment about the poem is that the poem is so submerged into politics and actually what is happening over here and maybe some other countries. What they see is what they write. That is what is happening. So it's only yesterday that young people were on the streets to protest about the finance bill. Some 2 years ago, several other young people were killed in cold blood on the streets when they were demonstrating. So it's just like a memory of what the other people are doing, and so that is what they can do. So I can say that it's a nice poem, and I can motivate this young boy because for them they cannot go to the street to demonstrate. How they can demonstrate it is by inking down their ideas, bringing them as they feel, and maybe it's the best way of maybe doing your demonstration, but on the other side of life.
Right.
I'm not sure who said it, but that famous quote, "The pen is mightier than the sword." And I have to agree that you can get more ideas out and feelings by writing your poetry or your essays than standing with a sign that's protesting. I kind of relate to that because I experienced that about 50 years ago. Very emotional poem, very good delivery.
Okay, now let's move to the second point.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk with you.
You're welcome.
My name is Junior Alisa. I am a member of Alpha Generation 1 group. In this time, I'm going to recite my poem, and my poem title is I'm Feeling Happy. I am feeling happy when I see my friends winning, because I don't have jealousy, because I know the sun and the moon are shining at different time. Sometimes the status is for us, but we don't react because we know we are not dealing with forces people. You stop talking to me and you are there thinking that you will hurt me. You cannot hurt me because I have my family members who can talk to them. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I like that you can find happiness and understanding what you have and the positives that are going on in your life.
It's good.
I also like that relation there of the sun and the moon and the light that they shine.
Yeah. When you can see that in your face, that's nice.
Let's move to the next one. Now, this is a lady.
First of all, my name is Frida. I'm going to recite my poem. Education. Education, education, education. Education is important to us. We must all learn well in our schools. Please, please, children, let us learn well in our schools. If we will learn well, in future we will shine. Also, we will be stars. Please, please, children, let's learn well in our schools. And that's the end of my poem.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing. As a former educator, I love that. I love the way it started. Education, education, education. And you're right. Education is very important. The more you know, the more power you have.
Could I ask you your age?
I'm 13 years old.
You have a good future ahead of you in poetry.
Okay, so that is Frida. Let me move on to another. Let her introduce herself.
First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all. My name is Nicole Nyamonyo. I'm in grade 8. I'm 13 years old and I have a poem. Its title is My Peaceful Village. I see rivers blow softly and calmly. I hear birds singing with nice voices. My village is very calm. I hear laughter and enjoyment. I do not know why. My village is very peaceful. My grandmother taught me that peace is love and together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good delivery.
I like that you brought in the village and the peacefulness there. I like that.
And your grandmother, too. Us older people appreciate that.
That is Nicole. So I move to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, first of all, I thank you for this opportunity you have given us. My name is Ivonne Nyamonyo. I'm a Form 3 girl. I'd like to share my poem with you. Joy Giver. You kept me in your womb, shed to anything I did. On your wrath, you kept me warm. I will always love you, mommy. In difficult, you are there to comfort and encourage me, calling me a winner every day. You understand me. You ensured I was helped. Thank you. You cared for me. I will never let you go. I will make you proud. You are my joy giver and my fan, my role model. Till entirely I will love you. You will nurture. You are one in a million. I will always see you, mommy. That is my end.
Thank you for sharing.
That was from the heart. That was nice.
Very nice. Thank you. Good memories.
Okay, we have our next young boy here. So let him introduce himself and give us his poem.
Hi, my name is Vincent. I'm a poet, producer, playwright, and the title of my poem is Talent. Talent is the precious gift from our Creator. Sharing is our priority. Writing words of encouragement. Talent is the precious gift of all. Writing is my favorite pleasure. Doing it again and again is my pleasure. Talent is the precious gift. Now it is the time to showcase it to the world. Thank you. That's my point.
Thank you.
I like the fact you're writing a poem about writing. That was good.
Yeah, and it's good that you guys are learning and using your talents. You guys have been doing some wonderful poetry here, and it's great to hear your talents, all of you.
Well, we have a young boy here, and then we have the last one will be a young girl. So let me bring in here. You introduce yourself and give us your poem.
Hey, I greet you all. My name is Vinley Mogambi. I have a poem I want to recite. Sad no more. When I am sad and my days pass, life is unfair, I find no gain. I remember my school, I keep my goal. Soon my teacher smile, I open my file. That's the end of my poem.
Short and to the point. Thank you.
Okay.
Definitely a different emotion there. Appreciate the variety that you guys all have.
Okay, so I have a last one here. Let her introduce herself. She doesn't have her poem here, but she will introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Shelia Osoro. I am in grade 7.
Well, welcome to You're the Poet, and we look forward in the future to hearing some of your poetry.
Definitely. Definitely. You enjoy poetry, I take it, if you're in with Amos. That's a good thing. Yeah, keep writing. Write some more. You'll be all right.
I would like to give a word of encouragement to these young poets. I'm officially introducing them and I've welcomed them to the family. They are officially our young poets. We want to make our community a community which is full of young people, the youth, and the old. I will be introducing other poets. More especially, I think we will now be having our next episode maybe on August during their holiday. So I think we have started them off. I'm trying to introduce these young people into the game so that they can get to know how to converge with people, not only in the village, but globally, so that they can know that we have some other talents like them outside, and we introduce them to what other people are doing, like what you are doing, live podcasts like these ones. I think that is the right way to do. That is why I said I want to introduce them to these platforms and many more platforms. I think from now, most of them will now begin booking their episodes or their slots individually. I think they have seen how the program has been. They have learned, and I think they are very much happy. They have seen new faces, and I think what really motivates them is that they are talking to new faces from far away from where they are. So they are learning and unlearning with new people, new faces. They have never talked in English, but I can I can see that today they have that courage to speak to somebody who is outside their country. I think it's a wake-up call, it's a motivation that we need to raise these young people like this so that they can have a purpose of knowing what talent is and exploring many more things on Earth and globally through using their talents and creativity. So thank you very much. I give it back to you so that maybe you can say some motivation to them and maybe give them some remarks. Thank you.
Amos, first of all, bless you for what you're doing with the students. And kids, keep it up. You're good poets and you have a bright future.
Yeah, and I was going to ask, I see that it's called Alpha Generation.
Yeah. Actually, it's a generation. We decided to call it Alpha because that is part of their age. So it's a generation of groups. So what they do is they team up around 15 to 20 young people. They make a generation. So we have Alpha Generation 1. So this is Alpha Generation 1.
Cool.
We have Alpha Generation 2 and we have Alpha Generation 3.
Okay.
So that is how we are going. So we are going in generations 1, 2, 3, 4, up to eternity.
I like it. Well, I just wanted to say thank you to all for coming out. I know this maybe didn't flow the best as the first time we do this, but hopefully we'll be able to do this again with the future generations 2 and 3, and etc. And we're happy to have you guys on, and welcome to the You're the Poet family. We encourage you guys to keep track of what we're doing, whether it's through Amos or on your own, as some of the older kids, if you have access to any of the online stuff. And just encourage you to continue to be involved here with the You're the Poet community.
So actually, I had a question for you two guys.
Okay.
So asking, do you have any published materials?
Okay. Yeah, so as far as You're the Poet, not yet, but we are planning in the near future to do a You're the Poet anthology.
Mm-hmm.
And when we do that, we'll be doing an all call for the You're the Poet family, which includes you guys, to submit to the anthology, which will then go out. So there will be some of that coming out in the future. Phil and I are working on a book that includes our poetry from the podcast. And then, of course, many of our other guests, they have published books out there as well. Amos, is there anything else you'd like to say about Alpha Generation or about what you guys are doing over there?
What I can say is that I'm a very happy man because I like working with young people and I like motivating young people and showing them how the other part of life, how you can do it. Maybe you can have part of your time writing and you can also do some other thing. This is a team that I'm proud of. I can say that in the next few years, I think we're having a generation of professionals who will be future leaders. These people are future CEOs. I can say they're becoming leaders as young as they are. And actually, they are engaging with big people. They're engaging with leaders. The other day, they had an appointment with the Ministry of Education. The right guys I need to work with, and I'm motivating them. That is why I even get a lot of opportunities. I include them. They do some engagements with other people. They do some projects like sustainable development projects. Like these young girls are working on a project about culture and peace. They want to become storytellers. So what they do is they go searching for information about our culture, how those people from the other generations used to be. That is their project. I have some two boys here who are working on plastic pollution as a project. I can see that each one of them are getting busy into doing some projects that will maybe enable us to become future professionals. They are also helping me in nurturing their talents, and they also agents of talents. Like they have brought in their friends.
Good.
I can see that we're increasing day in, day out. I motivate them. I motivate even their parents because some parents do not believe that we can do this. So I think what they have done today, they're going to show their parents that this is what we did. I'm very sure that when the video will be out, all of them here will create online platforms. They will post the clip there so that they can show the world that this is what we are doing and this is what is done and this is how we do it. I engage them more frequently when we have time, especially when they are in holiday. So that is when we do our projects. We're very happy that now we have a resource center where we come and do our projects from. We are also happy for that because when we told the management of the library that we want to have a podcast session, so they said, welcome, that is what we need. So this is what we want to show these people, that when they have a resource center like this, that is how they should utilize the resource center, and maybe it will help them in maybe focusing on what they want to become in the future. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's a great thing that you're doing there. And for all you students, don't let anybody tell you that poetry is not important. And the great thing about poetry is you can do it around your other everyday life. Whether you're a student, whether you're a business person, whether you're an entrepreneur, there's always room in your life for poetry. So from here, we're going to wrap things up. We want to let our listeners know we're grateful that you've taken the time to tune in. We hope you're enjoying the poetry shared here. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast and share it with others. If you would like to support You're the Poet and what we're doing here, there are a couple of ways to help. You can find links on our website to our Buy Me a Coffee patron site, as well as our You're the Poet store, where you can buy You're the Poet merchandise and share your love of poetry with the world. Thank you for your support as we continue to grow. Please check out our website and various social media outlets to keep up to date with You're the Poet. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our website, you'rethepoet.com. To inquire about the podcast and being a guest, or to send us feedback on an episode, send us an email to host@you'rethepoet.com. Until next time, Phil, thanks for joining us.
I appreciate that, and I had a good time. And Amos, like I said, bless you again for what you're doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you to all of Alpha Generation, and we look forward to working with you guys in the future. Thank you, guys. Goodbye.